All right. Barbara Carr here with Barbara Talks Business. And Barbara Talks Business. I forgot my show for a moment. I am here with Danyal Atif. And one moment. I'm trying a few new things today, you guys. This is like a guinea pig show, but I got great content, so you should definitely make sure that you're sticking around. If nothing else, just to see all the bloopers. All right, so before we go into our show, I want to make a couple of announcements. Those of you who are watching as regulars, I thank you so much for being here. And those of you who might be watching for the first time, I am very excited for you to see what Barbara Talks Business is all about. And I am live today on more places than I have put this show in the past. We are still on YouTube like we always are. We are still in our private Facebook group like we always are. But I have added this to my personal profile on Facebook, my Barbara Carr profile page, and also the Fuse Business Training, we're on Fuse Marketing and Media Facebook page today because the topic we have is marketing related. So we are on the marketing page. So those are all the different places you can find this podcast in video form. After we're done here today, we will be putting it on all of the podcasting platforms for audio versions. So wherever you watch or listen to your podcast at, whether that's Spotify or Amazon or Pandora or any of those, you can find us there and just look for Barbara Talks Business. And then throughout the week, we will be reposting this on different social media channels. So if you like what you hear today, please share this with other people because you could be helping somebody to build their business by sharing this information with them. And then the next thing I would like to do is remind you guys that you are able to ask questions. If you are watching this live, we can see when questions come in. Even if you don't have a question, if you just say hello when you pop in, we want to know that you're here. So I see that we already do have a few viewers. My system shows me there's a number of viewers on here. It doesn't tell me who's viewing, but if you are viewing, I ask you to say hello. Tell us where you're from, state or whatnot. I know the whole country, actually a lot of parts of the area have had a big snowstorm and ice storm. So that'd be a fun conversation at some point. But if you're here, say hello. If you have questions as we go, put them in the chat and we can answer them while we're live. If you have questions after the chat, after we're done with this live video, don't worry, we will get Daniel's information for you so that you can reach out to him afterwards. We'll make sure he gets that before we get off the show. All right, I see the hello starting to come in. So hello. Amber, welcome. We're so happy to see you on here. All right, let me go ahead and jump into some of the fun stuff we have going on. So this is season 2, episode 6 of Barbara Talks Business. And my guest today, like I said, is Danyal Atif with RAIJU Digital. And we're going to talk about a lot of different marketing topics today, but specifically, we're going to be talking about marketing with chatbots. So if you have seen a chatbot, no matter what your feelings are towards it, good, bad, or ugly, I encourage you, if you are a business owner, you should listen to this conversation because there is a way to be effective with chatbots without being annoying and scaring people off. I promise you, and you're going to see that today. All right, so stick around because we've got some good stuff coming. So I'm going to introduce Danyal and his company, and then we're going to jump into conversation. And Danyal, you are in view now, so if you want to wave or smile or anything like that, the people can see you. All right. So RAIJU was founded on the basis that Danyal, the owner, was fed up with mediocrity. If you're a business owner out there, an entrepreneur, and that's a similar story to how you started your business, tell us in the chat. Like, same, right? Like, I was so tired of everything being so mediocre and I knew I could do better. Let us know. So Bill Gates once said, I always choose a lazy person to do a hard job because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. And so Danyal is that lazy person. He sees people doing work in such a way that just buys them so much extra time. But it costs like 5 minutes of tomorrow. And he's like, I just don't understand why people are doing this the hard way. Let me just show you a simple way to get this done quickly. And this is why RAIJU is in the business of automation. They create automated marketing things, I'm looking for the word, strategies, automated marketing strategies for you. So whether that's chatbot, social media, they do some project development and task management and stuff like that. And so they're all about automation, because why work harder when you could work smarter? So as the founder, Daniel took an interest in chatbots, but you can't really sell a service that doesn't solve a problem. So the question is, what problem are you solving when you have a chatbot? And that problem is follow-ups. Many of you in the business world know that follow-ups are important. So today we're going to explain to you why chatbots are going to be important to your follow-up systems for your business. So with that said, Daniel, you can say hello.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Amber. Appreciate you saying hello to me.
And so again, if you're watching, tell us hello. One of the things I do want to mention is that Daniel and I met each other through BNI, which is Business Networking International, and we are both members. We are from 2 different chapters. In fact, we live in 2 different countries. So Daniel is up in Toronto, and I am here in the Chicagoland area. We were able to connect through our BNI Connect website that allows us to connect with all the BNI members across the globe. And when we first started connecting, it was just a very small, like, hey, we're both in BNI. We're both new to BNI. We joined similarly around the same time. And it was like, let's get to know what BNI is all about, make some networking connections. And then we realized that we both could help each other a lot, and that we enjoyed talking to each other. We had some good insights, and we like to share resources. And so that BNI original connection has now turned into, man, Daniel, I feel like I talk to you more than the people in my own club. And so like, we've had so many one-on-ones, and we just continue to grow this relationship, because there's so much that we can add, each of us add to the relationship. And so when I asked Daniel to be on the podcast today, it's because he definitely has a product that people need to know about. And I think he's charging very too little for it. We can talk about that later. But and again, like all things, when I tell people to raise their prices, you better get in before I convince them to do so. So Daniel, one of the things I'd like to start with today is a fun section. Typically we save this for the end, but I want to do it early on today. And it is a similar, like, this or that type of thing. So like, I'll mention 2 words and you tell me which of the 2 resonates with you more. So super easy. And I do want to mention to the viewers, we had a contest going on this. Somebody can win $50 cash if they choose the name of this segment. I will tell you that the name has not been chosen yet. There has been some good names put out there, but a name has not been fully chosen yet. So you still have, now I'm extending it for 1 week. So if you have not yet made a entry into, and you don't have to do just 1 entry, you could really do more than 1 entry. If anyone out there is watching this and you're like, oh, I know Barbara so well, and this is why this should be called this, then put it in the comments. Now, I will only look on YouTube comments for the entries. So if you are trying to put an entry in for this contest, you need to go to the YouTube page and find this video and put the comment in there, okay? And so for right now, we are going to just call it this or that. Actually, I'm going to give you guys a good example so you know what we're looking for. My assistant Amber gave a very good option. It's not off the table yet, but it's also not been chosen yet. But she said she thinks it should be called good, good, or better. And the reason she said so is because I respond often with the words good, good. So if you tell me something and I'm in agreement, I usually say good, good. Good, good, right? So her response was that it should be called good, good, or better. Again, I'm not saying it's off the table. I just want to see if there's something that might match it a little bit better. So right now, that one's still in the running. So Amber, if you're okay with it, we're going to go ahead and just run with this title for today until we know for sure if we have a winner. All right, I see Doug said hello. Again, if you're out there, say hello. I see that we have more than just 2 people viewing it. So if you're there, say hello to us. All right, so Daniel, couple of questions. I'm
Yeah.
keeping them all weather related today because I mean
Okay.
we're in the middle of a big snowstorm.
Yeah.
So winter or summer?
Winter.
Winter. You enjoy winter more than summer?
Not that I enjoy winter, but I'm a very logical person. So it's summer, it's hot, you sweating. When you come out of the heat, you're still kind of sweating and you're still kind of sticky. You need to shower to remove that. In the winter, you go outside, you go inside, you're good. There's no
Okay.
lasting effects.
So, Daniel, earlier today, you and I had a conversation, another one of our mini one-on-ones, and we talked about the snowstorm, right? And I was like, yeah, we got probably about 2 feet. And you show me on your screen how much snow you told us that you got in Toronto.
The amount of snow, like, you know, when beside the roads on the sidewalks, it was like we had like the piles were up to here. I'm not saying it snowed up to here, but the piles were up to here.
Right. And so then I said, then he mentioned that he took his little sister to school. And I said, she had school today? Our schools are all canceled. And then, Daniel, what did you say?
Canada, it could be negative 40 degrees Celsius, which is the same Fahrenheit, negative 40 Fahrenheit. And we will still go to school. But like, it's just, we don't, it doesn't matter. But when I lived in England, yeah, the smallest amount of, it snowed at all, canceled. We're not going to school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Canada's they have very high tolerance. It needs to be a blizzard plus a tornado plus a snowstorm for everything to close down.
Which is so crazy because I'm like, the whole time I'm hoping that things get canceled. I'm like, oh, I sure hope the school gets canceled. I hope this gets canceled because I get scared to drive in this. I'm used to it by now, but it doesn't mean that I like it or I want to venture out in it just because I've lived in the Midwest my whole life. But there are some areas of the country, like down in Texas and stuff, these people have not seen snow. And some of them don't even own snow shovels. So if you're watching this and you're in one of those states where this is the first time you've gotten snow or this much snow, tell us how things are. Are you okay? Is there anything that we could do to help? Because this has definitely been a crazy year for sure. Okay, so how about this? Snowman or igloo?
Igloo.
Igloo. All right. Why did you choose igloo?
I've always enjoyed like buildings and architecture. Seems way too hard for me to get into it, but I enjoyed it. So I'm like, it was one of those things where it's like too hard to get into, so I will admire from afar. So okay. But I think igloo because it's more challenging. But these days, like in Canada, back in like 10 years ago, when I was in like elementary and such, you could make an igloo. The amount of snow you had, you could make an igloo. But these days it's just not feasible. Like you can get snowman maybe, like a small one. But But I think igloo would be, if I had to choose, I'd do an igloo.
Well, I'm pretty sure that most of the country can do an igloo right now.
I can see that. Over here, the snow is apparently powdery, so you can't really do anything with it.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know anything about that. I don't do the shoveling around here. Like, I've got an awesome husband and an awesome son, and even my teenage daughter will go out there and help shovel. So it's very rare that I have to go deal with the snow out there. I'm very blessed. So those of you who are watching, feel free to jump in on these questions, the this or that questions, winter or summer. And then we went snowman or igloo. Tell us your answers in the chat. And I know that Amber, my assistant, is way off in Kentucky right now. She said literally no snow, just a little ice, and it was an emergency alert. I guess the ice was knocking down trees. They had the National Guard on call just in case. Okay, so very different in different parts of the country for sure. All right, so the last this or that question that we're going to do, or the good or better, is, do you prefer to stay at home or be out and about during this crazy snowy weather?
Well, to give you some context, I've basically been quarantining for the last 21 years of my life anyways, so.
It's so funny. One of my writers, my blog writers, his name's Mark. He's so fantastic. I don't know if Mark's watching this or not, but Mark, if you are, say hello. He, when we first started quarantining for COVID, he said, is it bad that the quarantine is like my regular life? What everyone thinks is quarantine?
That's what I felt like too. The only thing I'm only now starting to feel the effects. Whatever people were feeling 3 months in, I'm now starting to feel. I miss all you can eat sushi and Korean barbecue. But other than that, I mean, I'm used to just sitting inside.
Aw, yeah,
You know?
and so who knows how much longer we're going to be in this same boat.
Yeah.
But all right. So again, if you're watching this and you want to chime in, tell us what you prefer. Are you out there and running errands and doing business as usual, or are you hanging out in the house? All right. So now that we have gotten to know Daniel a little bit, let's talk some fun stuff. So I think we'll start with the Facebook Messenger chat box first. So Daniel, why don't you tell us a little bit about what is a Facebook Messenger chatbot, and why is it important for a business owner to know what it is?
So, a Facebook Messenger chatbot, it essentially, think of it as a robot that responds when somebody messages your Facebook business page, specifically the business page. Doesn't take over your personal account or anything like that. So, Fuse Empire, their business page, if you put a chatbot on there, if they click send message, then the chatbot will respond. So think of the chatbot as like a form. It's a form, but it's a conversational form that instead of just saying first name, it'll say, hey, can I get your first name? But even that, because it's Facebook, it already has your first name. It knows your first name. And like on my end, it's just a variable. So I just put like bracket first name and it fills it. So it's personable versus a form, which has to ask first and then it can be personable. Is that the word, personable? Is that a word? I think it's a word.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, that's a very simple way of explaining it, a conversational form. And the way I structure my chatbots is very bubbly and likable, heavy on the emojis, because it's easier for me to talk that way. I'm not a overly formal person. And likability is a big converting factor for chatbots. The people, they're used to the formal emails, and nobody reads emails anymore. Email open rate is 20%. And the reason for that is because it's so saturated. There's so many emails. I'm sure everybody gets 100 emails a day. Versus the chatbots, which, people still respond to their Facebook messages. The Facebook Messenger open rate is 80%. So if you had the option of sending an email or a message on Facebook, you're 4 times more likely to get read on Facebook. Not saying that you should replace one with the other. You should definitely run both together. But yeah, the open rates are just higher with the chatbot.
Okay. And so, Daniel, you did my chatbot that's on my website. So it's on fusemarketingandmedia.com. And those of you who are watching, we're going to jump in a moment and do a little test with it. But when you created that one, it's on my website. But when people respond to it, it's actually responding to my Facebook business page, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's quite literally Facebook Messenger embedded on your website. And so when it pops up, it has the option of continue as Barbara or continue as guest. And for most people, it will show they're already logged in on that device. Like Google has all your info. It sees that you're logged in. And so if you click continue as Barbara, that will connect you to your Facebook account. And so the conversation that you have is saved in Facebook as well. So when I go on your website and I talk to your chatbot, I can later go and see that conversation on Facebook Messenger. Right.
All right. So who would like to see this in action? If you would like to see this chatbot in action, give me a yes or please or something like that in the chatbot, because we're about to do that in just a moment. And some of you might get some fun surprises with it. All right. This is my first time trying to share my screen as part of the podcast. So let's hope it goes exactly as planned. All right, let's see.
Oh, that's good.
This. Let me remove this and let me remove that. Actually, that's okay to go away. All right, and then let me remove the caption. Look at all this fun stuff we have the opportunity of. But all right, so we have my website up, and it doesn't look like, okay, so what you guys can't technically see the chatbot yet because it's underneath my face. So I'm going to click on it on my screen, and it should pop up.
Hey.
And you'll see then there's this option of continue as Barbara or continue as guest, just like what Daniel mentioned. And I'm trying to watch. I have a computer screen behind my camera that I'm watching on YouTube Live so I can see how this is working. So I'm going to continue as guest since obviously this is my own channel. Or actually, no, I'll go to continue as Barbara so that you can see what it looks like because I'll go into Facebook as well in just a moment. So I'll continue as Barbara, and then let's see which question I should ask. What is your phone number? Put that in. It looks like on my end it's taking a moment.
Well, that's so good.
It's not taking as long on yours.
Oh, no, it worked on mine, actually. I clicked it, and it worked on mine. I just tested it.
So you're on there right now then? Okay, so I want to go to, I'm going to go to, oh, let me share one thing at a time. If I go to a different window, does it show it in the different window? Or I think it's only letting me show.
Yeah, only the one window right now.
Okay, got it. So for some reason that's not working, but it is coming up on Facebook. So let me come out of here. I'll stop sharing, and then I'm going to reshare. Let me just go to my entire screen. See if that helps. All right, so I'm on Facebook, and here is Fuse Marketing and Media.
Oh, there's no screen sharing on my end.
So I can say, oh, you're not getting that? Oh,
nope.
I see why, because I need to go this way. Oh, I didn't give it. Sorry. See, guys, trial and error. All right, let's see. All right, so here we are. If I am on, this is Fuse Marketing and Media window here. Are you seeing this now, Daniel?
Yep.
Okay, and so if I put in the chat.
So you can try ending this when you click the 3 dots and then end chat. It might reset it. Yeah.
All right, here we go. I think it's because I have so many things streaming in my computer's program. What's happening? All right, continue as guest. Let's say, hey, and so it pops up, hey, I'm Fuse Empire's virtual assistant. It's nice to meet you. What shall I call you? Now, when a person puts their name in here, that becomes part of a contact. So now I have this person as a contact.
That message not supposed to be there, so we got to fix that.
Yeah, that is strange. Okay, so but Daniel, you'll look into that and fix that then.
Yeah.
Because we have tested this and it all worked good when we tested it, but I'm putting in new things here. All right, so hello, Barbara. Please click one of the buttons below to let me help you. So I might say, hey, I want to talk to someone, right? So let's talk. And then it's going to say, all right, here we go. Here's our information. Do you want to email someone, or would you like to make a phone call, or do you want to schedule a call? If I go to schedule a call, then it will give me the option of, well, I need to put in my email address so that I can get a call scheduled. And again, you guys, all of this stuff is, you can change what you want this to say. But the reason I ask for email and phone number is because, again, this person becomes a contact in my system. So the more information I have on people, the better. On my end. Now, of course, some people might think, hey, if I got to put in an email address, I don't want to do this. And so just knowing that what you put in here might determine how much someone fills out. But now that I've gotten this far, I could click, okay, schedule a time to talk with someone. It takes you to my calendar. Okay, so that was one option. Oh, did you see it come to my calendar? I think you did.
Yep, I could see that.
Okay, perfect. So now I might ask another question. I might say,
I don't think I enabled that on your chatbot.
Oh, the other questions?
I don't think I made it so that you can type things and go, but you can click the 3 lines, that 3 lines at the side, and it should be a menu. No, by your where you type.
Right here.
Yeah, that one.
Got it. Okay.
There you go.
So I might want to go to services. So what services are offered? And so it shows marketing services, media services, design services. So if I choose one of these, let's just choose marketing, since we have a marketing person. That's what we're talking about right now, is marketing. And then do we want to do website design and development, online presence analysis? Any of this stuff, you would just choose what you want to do. So I'm going to choose the online presence analysis to use as an example. So if I click on this, it takes you directly to the page on my website that talks about the online presence analysis. Everything that you need to do will allow you to just click right through. Book your session here, right? Here's a 100-point checklist. Here's your scheduled, all this different stuff. So the chatbot, and then if I want to choose something different, let's say if I didn't like the options I got with marketing services, I could come up and choose something else, right? Design services. And then it will give me different options here, right? Logo design, memes, all that other stuff. Again, I could say I don't want the online presence analysis. Instead, I want to talk about website design. And so that will pop up. And then you have the option of getting a starter website or a custom website. Let's choose the starter website. So as you can see, all of this is fully customizable. It is also fully editable. So even though Daniel set this up for me, I'm able to go in and make changes to this. He showed me how to do that. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now so that it will come up with just the two of us again. And Daniel, why don't you share, if after all that stuff that I just showed, is there anything specific that we should keep in mind in regards to the chatbot?
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to it. So the way that I did it for you was essentially the simplest layer. And I want to add to it because I've gotten better with it and I've been working on it. I've had more clients, and every time I get probably every 3 clients, that causes me to want to go back to my initial clients and rework their chatbot. That's just how I am. And so I actually want to rework your chatbot. I have some ideas in mind, so we'll talk about that after.
All right, that sounds good.
But yeah, so the first layer is really just the buttons as yours is set up, right? So give them the options in front of them, minimal typing, because I find that not a lot of people, but about 20%, once the chatbot's fully set up, tends to ignore the chatbot. They just want to talk to whomever. And that's most of the time, that's just because it's a generational thing. They're not aware. They're not used to it. And there's not a whole ton that can be done about that, except for educating them, which the Fortune 500 companies have been doing because they're, of course, trying to save on costs. So they've been all implementing chatbots. The second layer is actually typing, right? So actually typing in the chatbot and getting it to answer questions. And there's 2 layers to that, really. There's the simple, where it just notices, it understands a specific word that you said, or there's Siri and Google Home, which actually understands what you're saying and can even understand if you're happy or sad. Like it can actually comprehend if it's a positive or negative. And those ones are the top level ones. But yeah, so those are the 3 layers that I have for chatbots, the 3 different types.
Okay, and I want to direct you guys also to Daniel's website when you get off of here to check out. I'm looking for it in my captions. So it is RAIJU.ca, so RAIJU.ca. And I want to share my screen one more time so I can show you his chatbot on his website, but I want you also to go here because on his, he shows you when you first get here, I chose guest, and then it says try demos. So there's all these demos, right? And so as you can see, the first one being Property Bot, he does a lot of work with realtors to where people can actually see your listings right inside a chatbot. So if you're a realtor or you know a realtor, you should tag them on this video, because this is becoming the new thing, especially right now with everything going on with COVID. It's nice for people to see things virtually first, and then they can go into schedule an in-person showing. But how neat for them to be able to find these on their own right here in your chatbot. You've got the food delivery, schedule a call, and these are just some examples. A home security bot, qualified leads, mortgage calculator, collect contact info chatbot, a cart abandonment chatbot. You guys have probably seen that, right? You go to leave someone's website and it says, oh, hey, by the way, did you know something's in your cart, right? So those are just some of the samples that he has listed here on his site. I recommend you go try some of these samples because you can just literally go through them as if and see how this works, so that you can see if it works for you. Now, if you're one of those people that you're like, I don't know if I need a chatbot or if I want a chatbot, well, Daniel can help you decide that. Schedule a call with him and he can walk you through if it makes sense for you to have a chatbot. And he'll be honest with you. If he's like, no, you don't really need one, he'll let you know. He's an honest guy like that. So one of the things I want to go into next with Daniel is the process development and automation. So Daniel, tell us why it's so important to automate things like this.
As business owners, we have things to do. Like, I'm sure every business owner gets it. And if you get too stuck, you want to be working on your business, not in your business, right? That is probably the, like a big takeaway you can take from that. And so I'm very big on that. Most of my time is spent on the business. And to give you an example, my uncles run a granite fabrication shop, and I can confidently say that they work 99% in the business, right? Like, and it's, I've seen it. I worked with them firsthand. I saw it, and the amount of time it takes to grow, it's across years. When if you're able to set yourself up to work on the business, then you're gonna scale and scale and scale and keep moving forward. And that's the goal. That's where I initially saw it, was with them. They're working, they're making money, but they're working jobs. They're not running a business, if you know what I mean. Right? I think the reason we become business owners is so that we don't have to work a job. We build something that's scalable, that can eventually handle itself, not just work in it. Otherwise, for security reasons, why wouldn't we just go work for somebody else anyways, right? It's more secure. Right. We don't have to stress out about it. So if you're going to be a business owner, you got to work on the business, not in the business. And so that's why I got into the project management and the process development, to automate the little things and make things easier, especially when it comes to managing a team. There's a lot of details that can fall between the cracks. Something as simple as you put a form out there, and the details of that form need to be made, like your team members need to be aware of that form. So for a singer, we did an influencer campaign, and we wanted people to send us videos of them dancing to our song. So I made an automation that when they filled out the form, that's a trigger that starts this automation. When they filled out the form, it automatically uploads it to Google Drive. In the details of the file, it pastes the folder, it pastes the answers. So in case the file is deleted, the folder still has all the information. And in our project management platform, it makes a task for somebody to review the video, and then start the whole, reach out to them, say thank you, edit the video, start that whole process and get that started. Because otherwise you just have to rely on somebody checking it, and you want to minimize how much you have to rely on people just doing what they're supposed to do. And what I mean by that is, yeah, they're supposed to do it, but human error, it's going to happen. Things are going to fall between the cracks. So how much can you minimize that and speed up the process?
Yeah, for sure. So Daniel, how does somebody know if a task is able to be automated?
One thing, with the way I think of it is, let's say you use this platform. I would go to Zapier.com, which is the #1 platform to automate things. And I would see, is there integrations with that platform? If yes, what are the integrations? For example, a lot of businesses do have a CRM. I'm confident in that much. And so you would look up your CRM. Do you use Active Campaign or Constant Contact or MailChimp? Some people use. What are the automations within that? And so that kind of tells you like, oh, I can do that. Okay, I can do that. And then you start to come up with ideas just from knowing what is possible. So that's how I would go about seeing what's possible. Just look at Zapier.com, see what the integrations are.
Okay, so that's a nice start for people.
Yep.
And you had also talked earlier about a form, right? And then doing all these different things. And actually, when you probably remember when you were asked to be on this podcast, you were also asked to fill out a form.
Yep.
And that form is a way of automation as well, because not only does it save us from going back and forth of what is your topic, send me your bio and do this. Everything's on that form. And that's also the same form that my team uses when they market for what we're going to do, right? So your bio is included within the form. Your headshot is included in the form. Everything that they need is right there inside that form to make it simpler.
Yeah.
So
that's all it is. Like a very simple automation for that is like when the form is filled out, make a task for your assistant to hear all the details, and then this is the instructions on what to do next. Right? Something as simple as that. You don't have to rely on them checking it, or you don't have to tell them that this person filled it out or anything like that. Minimizing communication is
exactly big. Yeah. So having that processes with anything that we can. So I guess what I like that this is processes and process development and automation, because there are some things that maybe you can't automate yet, but you can at least create a process for, like Daniel said. So when that form comes in, what's the next step? If you can't automate it, at least getting a process and a workflow figured out will make your job easier. It will make your team's job easier. So knowing what you can automate, and the sooner you can automate things, I think is very important as well. And then using some of the sites that Daniel talked about. Daniel, you also shared with me that you are working on some project management. I think you said a webinar, a task and project management event coming up. Do you want to tell people what that looks like?
So I'm thinking, so we have nothing settled yet, but I know it's going to happen probably within the next month, but nothing settled yet, no dates. But what I noticed is people don't know what they don't know, right? So
true.
I've invested a lot of time into project management, and my uncle, who's my mentor, has been whispering project management facts into my ears since I was 17. And so this workshop is what I'm thinking it's going to be. Everyone's going to be there, and I'm going to be talking with them, where I'm essentially going to work people through what does a task look like for them, right? How do they write it? What is the task life cycle? And then as we go through the exercises so that they're aware of how they're doing things, I'm then going to make them aware of what's possible. For example, one thing I have that my chief marketing officer lives by is called the Workload View. He is able to see the workload of every team member because every task has a time estimate, 1 hour, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever the time may be, and the due date. So it looks at the time estimate and the due date, and it adjusts the workload view. And so I can share screens. If you enable me to share screens, I can actually show that off very quickly.
Yes, let me see. I don't know if I know how to enable you to. Did you try and it says I need to enable it?
Oh, wait.
Go ahead and try and see.
Yeah, let me try. Dance tasks.
Another new test.
Is it working?
Oh, yep, there. It popped up right now. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
While you're doing that, I'm going to remove the captions and stuff like that.
Here's an example of workload view. Right, so there's quite a bit going on here, but let's focus on my name here, Danyal Atif. And then, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you can see my workload. So I set my workload for this client 15 hours a month or a week. And so today I've only been allocated an hour 20. So somebody could look at this and be like, oh, Dan has time today. I'm going to assign him this task, right? Or plan ahead. Thursday, I need this thing. They can look at me and be like, oh, Dan has an hour, I'm going to assign him that task, instead of having to ask me, or instead of randomly assigning me things, and maybe I don't have the capacity. But this is my CMO lives by this, because he manages 2 or 3 other people, and so instead of having to talk to them, he just refers to this, and then he knows if they're available or not. It's such a simple thing, but it saved him. When we implemented this, it probably saved him like 10 hours a week.
And it's called Workload View?
Yeah, this is a workload view, and not every project management solution has it, but a good chunk of them do.
And which project management system are you using right now?
I currently use ClickUp. The 2 that I would recommend are either ClickUp or Teamwork Projects. Teamwork Projects is more structured for you, a little bit less setup involved. ClickUp is more flexible, but that entails more setup required. So it's a glorified spreadsheet is what ClickUp is. And so if not set up correctly, it can be bad. But if set up correctly, it can be really good. So that's pretty much that. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of educating people on what's possible, what are they missing out on, and how much time could they be saving. And yeah. I think you're frozen on my end, Barbara. Are you still there? Oh, I'm not sure if I'm the one frozen or if Barbara's the one that's frozen. Oh, there we go. Hello. It's a black screen. Oh well. Am I here alone then? Oh. Hello.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. So I lost power. So give me one moment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's no good.
Fuse box is in here. I don't think it has anything to do with the fuse bar. I think it was, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oops, hold on. All right. Yeah, I think it was the storm. I think we lost power through the storm. I'm super dark right now. Daniel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make just you on here. And if you can entertain people, tell them about something while I figure out my stuff. Okay?
All right, then. I guess it's just me. I'm taking over. You lost power at the house? It looks like she lost power at the house, yeah. That happened with a client of mine based in Texas as well. He lost power, so we had to reschedule those meetings. But yeah, hopefully she's able to turn it back on. I guess I will just continue to talk about project management. Yeah, so platforms that I'd recommend if people are curious about organizing their team and bringing clarity, I'd recommend Teamwork Projects or ClickUp. Teamwork Projects is, I would probably say, if you're like an IT business that has to deal with like help tickets and stuff like that, go with Teamwork, because they also have like a help desk system built in, Teamwork Desk. So that would be a good combination. But yeah, no, I'm trying to think of things to say. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get people in the chat. Is there anybody who's still here? I see we still got a couple people. Let's see. Is Doug, are you still there? I see you said stuff earlier. Amber, I appreciate you saying hello earlier. Let's see. But yeah, what else can I talk about? Yeah, the chatbots. So a grand strategy with the chatbots is you can actually message commenters. So that's a big one with the chatbots. You can actually follow up with commenters automatically. That's probably the only way that you can message commenters. Oh, she gone again? She gone again. The top industries for the chatbots are it's real estate, as Barbara said, real estate, travel agencies, and e-commerce by far. Oh, e-commerce. It's because of the open rates. E-commerce gets 20% response rate on their abandoned cart campaigns. Yeah, you lost power to restream. That's no good. Well, Should I just keep talking for 15 minutes? Yeah, I lost power. Oh, I see you put that in the, oh, I can see you put that on YouTube.
Okay.
Interesting. There we go.
Daniel,
Yeah.
so I'm still dark. We have my office is in the basement, so without the light, yeah, you can't really see me. So let's go ahead and get all your contact information, and then then we'll just end it early, unfortunately, because we still had so much fun stuff to go into. But go ahead and give people how they can contact you.
Yeah, you can contact me via my website, 𝗥𝗔𝗕𝗢𝗨𝗧, or at daniel@raiju.ca. It's my email, and yeah, we can schedule a call. And I do a lot of free consultations, so you don't have to worry about paying for information. I have no issue giving out what I've learned. Yeah, that's that.
Awesome. So thank you for those of you who were hanging around, and we apologize that things did not go as planned with technology, but I highly encourage you to reach out to Daniel. But first check out his chatbot on his website which was RAIJU.ca. I'll put it up on the screen again, RAIJU.ca. Check out the chatbot and then reach out to him at Daniel@RAIJU.ca to be able to schedule a time to chat with him so that you can learn if this will be good for your business. And Daniel is spelled DANYAL at RAIJU.ca. Daniel, is there any final things you want to share with people before we jump off?
No, I think we're good. I appreciate you having me here.
All right. Well, then with that being said, everyone have a wonderful tune in next Tuesday at 2 p.m. for Barbara Talks Business.